Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna go through a full body routine. We're gonna mobilize the joints, we're gonna mobilize the stiff muscle, and yeah, this is a great routine that you can use in the morning, after you wake up, during your lunch break, or after work, just to loosen up a little bit. It's great workout if you want to use it on your rest day to recover those muscles. And I also include some regression video in this one. So if you're not that mobile yet, but you still want to have an effective session, you can just use 2 yoga blocks, and I'll show you how to use them throughout the video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you at the end. Let's start with some neck rotation. Gonna rotate 10 times on the right side and 10 times on the left side. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed, your pelvic is tucked in. Now you're gonna grab your head, you're gonna pull it down, looking on your right side, and stretch your neck. Make sure also here you're not arching your back, you keep it nice and neutral. Switch side. Now you're gonna grab your head with both arms and pull down, still making sure you're not arching your back and keep it nice and neutral. Okay, now let's mobilize the shoulder, 10 rotation, moving back. Open up your chest and 10 rotation forward. Now let's mobilize our back, stretch the back, really try to reach as far as possible with our arms. We're now moving on to some chest openers, so just push your arms as forward as you can and then push it all the way back. Relax your neck, open up your chest to the ceiling more and more each time. Moving on to some hip mobility, keep your legs shoulder width apart and trying to reach your toes. If you cannot touch your toes yet, that's totally fine. You can just use some yoga blocks to make this exercise more comfortable for you. Now, when we are in a squat position, we're making sure we push the knees out. And when we bring the hips back up, we want to stretch our hamstring too, trying to keep your legs as straight as possible. Repeat for 10 times, nice and controlled movements. Let's sit down on the floor, same stance with the shoulder width apart with your legs. We're gonna try to bring both knees down, stretching up the hip flexor. If you can push your knees down all the way, that's totally fine, your mobility will come up. Now we're gonna rotate our hips to really push the stretch a little bit more deeper. Now we're gonna make the stretch a little bit more glutes focused, and we're trying to reach down with our chest. Moving on to the low lunge. Here I want to keep the front foot flat, the rear legs is relaxed, and what I'm aiming is to go as far down as possible with my hips without moving the front foot. If you need more stability with this exercise, feel free to use the yoga blocks. Moving on to my favorite pose, the pigeon pose. So I take my foot and I move it all the way on the opposite side of the mat. And I'm standing straight up with my hips in line with the floor. What I'm doing now, I'm just gonna do some little push-up like we did before, trying to bring the chest down to the front leg and back up. If it's uncomfortable for you yet, you can just put a yoga block underneath your bum and bend the rear leg. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can just put your hands behind your head and just you can stretch for 5 minutes, stay in the same position down low for 5 deep breaths before moving on to the next leg. with this position, with the cat-cow position, we're trying to push the spine as far up as we can and then as far down as we can. Nice and controlled movement. Inhale, exhale. Take one hand, put it behind your head, bring it all the way down to the floor and all the way up to the ceiling, trying to open up the chest each time. Switch. Now I'm gonna take the right hand and place it underneath the left arm, place that shoulder, the right shoulder on the floor and open up with the left arm, trying to push the chest up to the ceiling. In the beginning it might be a little bit uncomfortable this position, but trust me, within time it will come more easy. And switch side. Now we're gonna place our hips on the floor, pushing ourselves up, keeping the shoulder nice and relaxed. If it's too difficult, just stay on your elbows instead of your hands. And now we're gonna lift our legs up one at a time. So here, nice and controlled movements. Now stab your feet on the floor, make sure you have a nice grip. We're gonna bring our hips all the way up and slightly bend, alternating our knees to get a little bit more stretch down the calves, and bringing our hips down again. Repeat it 4 to 5 times. stretch our hamstring, I always prefer to stretch one leg at a time. It's much more easier to focus on this deep stretch. If you cannot rub your heel or your toes, you can always place your hands underneath your thigh or your calf. Make sure you bring in your belly to the legs and not arching too much your upper back. Now we're gonna bring our foot on the side just next to our palm, and we're gonna stretch the hip flexors. So this is the position number 1. This is for beginner if you've never done this position before. If this is too easy for you, you can move on to the number 2, which is staying on your elbow. On the number 3, if you're really flexible, you can just go on the floor and relax. Now we're gonna move on the next leg on the same level that you just performed on the other leg. Now we're gonna bring our legs up, keep them at 90 degrees angle, and bring them side to side, and keeping the shoulder glued on the floor. Let's just bring one leg on the chest, perform 5 deep breaths before moving it on the side. Keep your shoulder on the floor and bring the knee as far close as possible to the floor. Switch side. Drop the leg, 5 deep breaths before moving on to the floor. We're done.
Thank you
you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the whole routine. If you have any question or you want to see anything more, please leave a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of these videos, and I'll see you the next time. Bye!